Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. My goodness, hello. Hello, everybody back there and out there. I know this is hard. I know this is hard. You're in a room with all of your friends and you all want to talk and chat and drink and spend big money on this paddle race soon, I hope. But I just have to thank a few people. So if you can just bear with me, we'll get through this as quickly as possible so you can get back to wine and drink. I'm Sandra Rand. I'm the proud chair of this evening's event. Thank you. I'm also proud to say that I am a board member of Landmarks, Illinois, and it is the height of one of my philanthropic lives, so I thank you for letting me be a part. I want to, say to you at this point, I hope you're enjoying your ice cream. This is very special ice cream. It is from one of our very generous supporters, Richard Driehaus. And while he's not here with us tonight, he wanted to enhance your experience with one sweet surprise after another. And there's a big one coming later. Tonight we have some very special guests who are, like Richard, make everything in Landmarks, Illinois possible. I'd like to recognize this year's event co-chairs, my Mr. Marvelous himself, Joe Antonovich, the incredible Leslie Henman, Richard Driehaus, and the very classic Lois Weisberg. So while they're not here, we're going to continue to party in their stead. But we also need to pay our deep appreciation to all of our sponsors that are listed in your program book. But in particular, we've got some big buck folks in here tonight, and they include our corporate legendary landmark, Bulley and Andrews, my good friend Rocky Wirtz, Joe Antonovich and Antonovich Associates again, Richard Driehaus one more time, Allan Salpeter and his amazing wife, Shelley Gorson, board member Ann Voschel and her husband, Joe Nundo, and my dear husband, daughter, and family for making this evening's cocktail reception possible. I thank you all. Please help me thank them. It has been my absolute pleasure to chair this event this year, but clearly, no event of this size, and I mean size, could we get anybody else in this space? But this would not be done without an incredible, dedicated host committee. My heartfelt thanks goes out to my fellow committee members, also listed in your program. Are they up on the screen? And there they are over there too. We'd also like to thank, in fact, our dedicated Landmarks Illinois Board of Directors, the current ones, and we have 19 past individuals in the room, our super awesome staff. Can you get better than that? And while this mighty band of volunteers needed to be corralled, it wouldn't have been possible without our events program manager, Tiffany Williams. Thank you, Tiffany, for making tonight special for all of us. And finally, the person that holds us all together, that telegraphs our message, my personal new bestie, Bonnie McDonald. Would all of you please stand so that we can say thank you? All the staff, all the board, Tiffany, Bonnie, wherever you are, board members past and present, thank you so much for what you do. Now, I know that many of you are fully aware of the impact of Landmarks, Illinois, whether it's finding a reuse for a vacant yet beautiful building, enticing, arm-twisting a developer to take on a restoration project, providing grant funds, or even advocating to save a vital place in our communities. Landmarks, Illinois ensures that we preserve those amazing structures that in fact make not just our city, but our state unique. But for our new friends here tonight, Landmarks Illinois is the only not-for-profit organization in the state inspiring local action across the state to catalyze transformational community change through historic preservation. Over its 44 years, its list of successes has become quite impressive, including things like keeping the wrecking ball away from the Chicago Cultural Center and the Chicago Theater. We did that. But what's really important are people like this. In 2009, we honored Richard Driehaus with a legendary Landmark Award. He was so inspired by our body of work here at Landmarks, Illinois, that he presented us with a very generous gift, $1 million. So I hope there's another Richard in the room tonight. We'll find out shortly. But we use those funds, in fact, to sponsor our courthouse grant initiative. Let's see how far we've come with those dollars.
The courthouses of Illinois are the embodiment of beauty and a belief in justice and liberty for the people of Illinois. Preserving the heritage found in these courthouses is fundamental to a belief in the values of our society, of the legacy that our grandparents and great-grandparents built.
The Courthouses Initiative really began as an idea in 2009.
Since then, more than 20 communities have been granted matching funds from the Richard H. Driehaus Courthouse Initiative to begin renovations to their courthouses and to stimulate a rebirth of the town centers. But this is only a beginning.
The courthouses are the most significant piece of architecture in many of our small towns in Illinois.
And courthouses really represent the public. That's where it went for administration and for justice.
It's the place where we go to think about our public service, the memorialization of our veterans. Oftentimes you'll pass by on Memorial Day and you'll see these beautiful flags in the courthouse square as a monument to the service that we give to each other.
Because of the scale of these structures and the economic circumstances of these communities, many of these courthouses have been neglected. Buildings inevitably decay. It's the nature of buildings. The power of the Illinois Courthouse Initiative is the enlightened stewardship of Landmarks, Illinois, the generous gift by Richard H. Driehaus, and the incredible efforts of local citizens passionate about the heritage of their communities.
This is a courthouse that Lincoln worked in. Lincoln had written in his journal that he got lost in the wilderness on several occasions because he couldn't find the courthouse. So they built this one, and the very top part of this cupola is glass. The custodian would have to climb 5 ladders to get up, and he would hang a lantern there at nighttime, and that would help Lincoln and the early court find their way into the courthouse, into Metamora from the wilderness. The cupola was in very, very bad condition. The whole building was in deteriorating condition.
Many of the communities of Illinois only have the resources to heat these buildings and keep the water out. Restoring the architectural heritage is beyond their means.
The state's attorney in his office underneath the cupola, rain would be running down into his office. It was a problem that needed to be fixed, but it was something that Stark County on our own we could not do.
There was even talk one time about just eliminating it, cutting it off with a saw and patching up the roof, patching over it.
Without Landmark's assistance, the renovation would not have happened.
We get to experience architecture through light, a bright midday sun, a beautiful sunset. And at night, if the building is not lit, look at what we miss.
The courthouse is the jewel of our county.
I worked at the courthouse for many years, for about 13 years, and it's quite a landmark.
So it means a lot because I want this to be the gem that it really is. I want it to look like the gem that it is.
When we invest in the past, we're bringing forth a better future.
Good evening to you all. I would love to have your attention, please. I'm Bonnie McDonald, the President and CEO of Landmarks Illinois, and thank you. Thank you very much for being here to support our work. I want to recognize the creative leadership of Tom Rossiter, the former Landmarks board member Tom created this visual celebration of the Richard H. Driehaus Courthouse Initiative. Now, Tom has shown us that people are inspired by the preservation of community landmarks. At Landmarks Illinois, we believe in the vital and powerful role that our historic buildings play in shaping the lives of people and fostering a civic pride. We are people saving places. There's no better time to invest in our vision for stronger neighborhoods and revitalized communities through preservation than now. Tonight, I'm asking you to join us in supporting that vision to help us reach our first ever goal of $1 million in gifts celebrating our legendary landmarks and Landmarks Illinois. We have an opportunity to hit that goal tonight. We've already made tonight the highest attended legendary landmark celebration, as you can see. Thank you all. Thank you for being here for our 10th anniversary and for celebrating our special legendary landmarks. But now we need the support of each and every one of you tonight in this audience. So thankfully, I have the help of a wonderful expert who will help make our auction quick and fun, I promise you tonight. And that's our auctioneer, Jason Lamoureux. No laughing, he will make it quick, of Lamoureux Appraisal and Auction. Welcome, Jason.
Well, thank you, Bonnie. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure and an honor to be here this evening once again among Chicago's legends. Tonight, each and every one of you are going to see on your table an envelope. I'm going to ask one brave individual to find that envelope and to distribute those bid cards here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, having led many successful auctions with many of you in this room, I know that philanthropy is a significant reason that this city is so livable, so dynamic, and continues to attract investment. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we all have the opportunity, and it's our goal that we have 100% participation in the room here tonight. Well, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a great time. Let's raise a lot of money. It's live auction time here tonight. Our first live auction item tonight is a Dream Day in the friendly confines in honor of the 2010 legendary landmark, Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. Celebrating Chicago's own Mr. Cub, the Chicago Cubs honored Ernie Banks' passing on January 23rd by flying the number 14 flag, his retired number, over Wrigley Field. This flag can be yours tonight. That very flag can be yours tonight. And to go along with this treasure, we have 4 field box tickets to a game of your choice during the upcoming season, and you're going to be able to take the field as well. A special thanks to the Chicago Cubs, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Who would start the bidding at 1,000? Thank you. Now 1,500. Now 2,000. At 2,000, thank you. Now 2,500. At 2,500, 2,000 is bid up front. I'm asking 2,500. Thank you. Now 3,000. At 3,000, 2,500, 3,000. At 3,000, did you say 3,000? 3,000. I'm at 2,500. Right in the front. Do you want to be 3,000? At $3,000, we've got the 4 field passes. Thank you. Now 3,500. Now 3,500. Now 3,500. At 3,500, I have 3,000 here. Now 3,500. At 3,500, 3,000. Now 35 for landmarks. Last call. Anybody else? At $3,000 right over here. Now $3,500 once, twice, 3,000. Now 3,500, and I have sold right there. Give him a nice round of applause. $3,000. What's that number tonight, sir? That number tonight is going to be number 636. Think about this. Our next live auction, ladies and gentlemen, our next item tonight is a chance to take your friends out to the ball game in a diamond suite at U.S. Cellular Field to watch your White Sox take on the Detroit Tigers on a beautiful, sure to be beautiful, Saturday night, June 6th. This is your chance to spend a beautiful late spring evening with 21 of your closest friends. Enjoy a private diamond suite, food, beverage, parking passes included. A special thanks to Frida Ireland, former Landmarks, Illinois board member, and a big round of applause also for Kenneth Meyer, CEO of U.S. Cellular, for this donation. Let's give our donors a big round of applause here tonight. Let's go to our other favorite Chicago ballpark. Who'd start the bidding? At $1,500, thank you, now $2,000, and now $2,500, thank you, now $3,000. At $3,000, now $3,500. I'm at $3,000, now $3,500. At $3,500, way in the back, thank you, now $4,000. At $4,000, I have $3,500 straight away. Now $4,000. At $4,000, anybody going to get $4,000? I'm at $3,500, now $4,000. At $3,500, now $4,000. I have $3,500 in the back with number 551. I'm asking $4,000. This is for 22 people. A beautiful suite. 4,000. Yes, now 4,500. At 4,500, I have 4,000. Now 4,500. At 45, yes, now 5,000. At 5,000, anybody get 5,000. I'm at 4,500 up front. Now $5,000. At 5,000 to go. Last call. At 4,500. 5, yes, now 55. Now 55, at 5,500, get 55, yes, now 6,000, now 6,000, now 6,000, get 5,500, get 6,000, yes, now 65, and now 6,500. I'm at 6,000, now 65, at 6,500, get 6,000, at 65, at 65, now 7,000, now 7,000, now 7,000, sir. At 7,000, anybody get 6,500, 7, yes, now 75. At 7,500, anybody get 7,000, now 75, 75, 75. At 7,000, now 75, do it again, at 7,500. I'm at 7,000, we gotta go, 7,500. At 7,500, anybody get 7,000, yes, now 8,000. At 8,000, anybody give 8,000 once, twice, and I have sold right here. Give him a big round of applause. $7,500, number 103. Number 103 is your buyer here tonight. That's what tonight's all about. Congratulations. Our next live auction item, oh, listen to this, invites you to take your loved ones away for a long weekend to the picturesque island of Nantucket for a 4-day, 3-night stay at Richard Driehaus's Victorian home. You know it, it's recently restored. It's at the famous 19 Broad Street address, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, wonderful kitchen, all the amenities. We're taking care of dining with gift cards to the Great Dune Restaurant, the Brotherhood of Thieves Restaurant, and also check out Mitchell's Book Corner. A special thank you to Richard Driehaus for this weekend getaway. Let's head to Nantucket. I'm at 2,000. At 2,000, yes, now 2,500. At 25, yes, now 3,000. Yes, now 35. Yes, now 4,000. At 4,000, yes, now 4,500. At 4,500, get 4,000. Now 45. At 4,500, get 4,000. Now 45. At 45, yes, now 5,000. Yes, now 55. At 55. Yes, now 6,000. At 6,000, anybody get 55? I'm with you wherever you're at 55. And now $6,000. At 6,000 to go at 50. Yes, now 65. I have 65. Yes, now 7,000. At 7,000, sir. At 7,000. At 7,000, anybody get 65? Anybody get 7,000? At 7, yes, now 75. Yes, now 8,000. At 8,000, yes, now 85. At 8,500, anybody give 8,000. Now 8,500. At 8,500, anybody give 8,000. 8,500 once, twice. Yes, 85. Yes, now 9,000. Would you give me 10,000? I have 8,500 bid right here. Would you give me 9,000? Thank you. Would you give me 9,500? Would you give me 10,000? Would you give me 10,500? Sir, would you do one for 10,000 as well? Number 360, number 374, $20,000 raised right there. Give them both a big round of applause. And thank you to Richard Driehaus again. Fantastic. That's what tonight is all about. Let's go. Hockey fans, Chicago Blackhawks United Center private penthouse suite, courtesy of Chicago Blackhawks and legendary landmark Rocky Wirtz. Let's give them both a big round of applause. Thank you so much. So whether you're thinking business or whether you want to gather friends and family, get ready for some fast, fun game action as you enjoy a game in the Blackhawks Penthouse Suite. You've got 16 tickets, you've got food, you've got beverage, you've got dedicated service, full wet bar, you've got televisions, you've got every amenity, and here we go. Let's go. I bid 2,000, 3,000, thank you. Now 4,000, now 5, and now 6, and now 7. At 7, yes. Now 8,000, now 9. At 9,000, 9,000, yes. Now 10,000. At 10,000, 9, 10. At 10,000, 10, now 10, I have 9,000. You okay? Now 10,000. I have 9,000 out there. Would you give me 10,000, sir? Yes, now 11,000. At 11,000, 10, 11,000. 11,000, I have 10,000. Bid here, now 11 to go. At 11,000, yes, now 12,000. At 12,000, 12,000. I have $11,000 bid with the young lady. I'm asking 12,000. At 12,000 to go. At 12,000, 12,000, 11,000, now 12,000, 12,000, 12,000 once, twice, 11,000, now 12,000, 12,000, and I have sold right there. Give her a big round of applause. $11,000, number 305. Number 305, thank you so very, very much. All right, now. You want to do that?
No, go ahead. I just want to.
Ladies and gentlemen, shh. We had a wonderful time, and thank you for that generosity here tonight. Maybe you lost out on one of those great items, but tonight, ladies and gentlemen, with our paddle race, this is your opportunity to help us reach that incredible goal that Bonnie mentioned earlier. And tonight we have two special guests to tell us how we're going to achieve this monumental achievement here tonight. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause as I bring up and welcome to the stage 2014 legendary landmark, Joe Antunovich, a co-chair of tonight's event. Let's give him a big round of applause, as well as Kim Coventry, Executive Director of the Richard H. Driehaus Foundation, to announce a special paddle raise challenge. Joe, Kim, the stage is yours.
I'm the understudy for Richard Driehaus tonight. He's really sorry he couldn't be here, but congratulations, Tim, Allan, and Rocky. And he asked me to remind you how important this cause is and what good work Landmarks Illinois is doing. And this is a record evening, and to that end, Richard is willing to match 1 for 1 all pledges made after last year's amount, which was $650. It was all-time high, and so
we're making the calculations. Just
right.
Hold on, where are we, Bonnie?
Folks, tonight in our paddle race, if you all help us reach $137,000, Richard will match that amount to get us to $1 million for tonight's event.
So, we're obviously here in Chicago blessed with wonderful people, And obviously, Richard is one of the most marvelous people we have here in the city of Chicago. So we would like you to loosen that wallet a little bit, lock the doors, don't get under the table. And so we're going to try to raise $137,000 with our paddle raise this evening. Kim, did you have any other comments to add?
Yeah, the future depends on what we do tonight.
Kim, did you want to mention about this, the opportunity to join them for the Lake Geneva? You want to mention that? Oh, it's not. Okay.
I can mention it. One of the benefits here, if the 10 most, the people that raise or offer the 10 most money with your paddle raise will also come with a benefit. I don't know if many of you know Richard has a very small birthday party up at Lake Geneva every summer. So if you're one of the 10 highest bidders on the paddle raise, that will come with 2 tickets to Richard's party on his birthday this July. So just a little added incentive there.
I think a big round of applause for this very generous match tonight here, ladies and gentlemen. So with that, I want you to look to your left and maybe to your right. Maybe you're a guest here tonight. Tonight's where we all come together and achieve wonderful things. Ladies and gentlemen, the way our paddle raise will work tonight, I'm going to give everyone an opportunity to raise their bid card here tonight, where it feels right and where you can help the most, and every dollar will count. I want you to raise that bid card up, and I want you to keep it raised until I call your number off. If you're not holding a bid card up, we want you to clap for those that are. So whether you're seated right here in the front, whether you're in the back or over on my right or in the back, no, we're going to record your number and we're going to thank you here tonight. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Every dollar will be matched. Our first level tonight is $10,000 here tonight. If you can help us out at the $10,000 level, let's see those bid cards go up. Give a big round of applause right there. Number 304 at $10,000. Right there. Thank you. Number 711 at $10,000 here tonight. Now we have 750 people here tonight. We got to clap like we mean it. Is there anyone else here tonight at our $10,000 level? At $10,000? Let's hear it. A big round of applause right there for our 2 lead gifts here tonight at $10,000. Bonnie, tonight our next level, and again we'll be matched 1 for 1, 100% here tonight, is $5,000. What could Landmarks, Illinois do with a $5,000 gift?
With $5,000, you can help us find a reuse for the beautiful Cook County Hospital.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go at $5,000. Hold them up high. Let's see it here tonight. Let's hear the clapping at $5,000. Let's go. Thank you, number 727. Thank you, number 514. Thank you, number 103 at $5,000 here tonight. Is there anyone else here tonight at our $5,000 level? Let's give a big round of applause. Right there, Joe, Joe, we're just going to put your name. We know who you are, okay? No, not for you. Put Joe down, too. Is there anyone else here tonight at our $5,000 level? Let's go. Let's hear it. A big round of applause for everyone at our $5,000 level here tonight. Keep in mind, again, we're matching here tonight. And Bonnie, our next level is $2,500. What's a great example of the way we could put that funding to use?
Yes, for $2,500, we can give grants directly to projects that need them, like the Judge Taylor House in Springfield, the first African-American school in Springfield that is undergoing restoration. If you give $2,500, you're going to double it, so we can give 2 of these grants statewide.
Let's go. $2,500 here tonight. Let's see it. Let's raise those big cards up in the air at $2,500. Let's hear the clapping, ladies and gentlemen, at $2,500 here tonight. Thank you. Number 587. Number 120. Number 437 at $2,500 here tonight. At $2,500. Thank you. Number 303 at $2,500 here tonight. How about over here as well at $2,500? Number 183 at $2,500. Let's give them a big round of applause as well there. Our last call, anyone else at $2,500 here tonight at $2,500? Thank you so very much. Number 620 as well at $2,500. Keep the clapping going. That's right, every dollar counts here tonight. Our next level is $1,000, Bonnie. She's ready. That's all right. Bonnie, what's a great example of the way we could put this funding to use?
For $1,000, we can directly help homeowners who need to find new sites for their homes, including the wonderful Chris Ank, who's sitting to my left, who moved the Irving House in Wilmette. Thank you, Chris.
$1,000 here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let's fill the room. Let's go. At $1,000 here tonight. Thank you. Number 2, I don't hear the clapping. Let's go. Thank you. Number 204. Number 231, number 415, number 213, thank you, number 643, thank you, number 402, number 434, number 674, I don't hear the clapping, let's go. Thank you, number 563, number 637, number 630, number 166, number 764, number 295, number 190, number 281. We're not clapping. Let's go. Thank you, number 756. Thank you, number 440. Thank you, number 279. Number 616. Number 424. Number 151. Number 108. Thank you, number 512, number 273, number 509, number 371, number 277, thank you, number 316, thank you, number 417, number 747, number 662, number 476, number 787, number 448, number 318, number 285, number 169, number 742, number 679 here tonight. Is there anyone else here tonight at our $1,000 level here? Let's give a big round of applause for everyone at our $1,000 level. Thank you so very, very much. So when we started, our goal was 100% participation, right? Bonnie, our final level from the stage here tonight is $500. What's a great example of how we could put that funding to wonderful use?
Well, folks, if you love Chicago, then you must love the blues. And I hope that you will help us save the Muddy Waters House for $500.
Every number should be up in the air here tonight. If you haven't given, we challenge you now. If you care to join us again, let's see it. Let's hear the clapping at $500 here tonight. Let's go. Thank you, number 482. Thank you, number 480. Thank you, number 505. Thank you, number 791. Number 176. Number 610. Number 236. Number 506, number 327, number 621, number 233, thank you, number 774, number 230, number 140, number 339, number 153, number 519, thank you, number 768, number 260, number 209, number 718, number 619, number 506, number 791, number 348, number 518, number 227. We're not clapping. Let's go. Thank you. Number 140, number 786, number 227, number 200, number 800, number 760, number 556, number 804. Thank you, number 185, number 626. Thank you, number 207. Thank you, number 796, number 564, number 487, number 155, number 629, number 479. Here tonight, is there anyone else here tonight? Number 636 as well. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention. Tonight, as we've stated, our goal is that everyone do what they can to support the evening. We know that giving's different for each and every one of us here tonight. If you raised your big card at a particular level, we're going to ask you to turn it over and fill it out. If you choose to give anonymously or you didn't hear a number that was called out here tonight, every gift will make a difference. Every gift is appreciated. We're going to ask you to turn your cards over, fill them out at this time here tonight. Please do not leave them on your table. Our representatives will be at the door as you exit here tonight. Please give them to them as you exit. One more time, a big round of applause for all the generosity in the room. It's been a pleasure and an honor. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I really wanted Kim to announce this, but she's asked me to do it. Jeffrey Bear has kept track. Now, you know, he's not an accountant, but he claims that we have met the goal of $137,500.
Yep.
So tonight we're happy to report that this gala has raised $1 million for Landmarks, Illinois. Gee, I feel like we're back bidding on the Farnsworth house. Just kidding. Thank you all very, very much.
Richard will be just thrilled to know about your generosity tonight. Thank you.
Wow, I'm used to doing that kind of tallying from all those pledge drives at WTTW. What a show of support. It is so impressive to see the participation for growing the resources available to Landmarks Illinois and to help people save places that matter. So our next landmark, time to move on and get our two remaining landmarks introduced. Our next landmark has been instrumental in preserving our city's most iconic and vernacular landmarks by telling us why they matter. Tim Samuelson has also helped me personally so much in my work, more times than I can count. I host a weekly segment on Channel 11 called Ask Jeffrey, where people write in with their questions about Chicago architecture and history, and we answer them. And I've often joked that it actually should be called Ask Jeffrey, who picks up the phone and calls Tim and asks him, because Tim has answered so many of my questions. Tim got on a divvy bike, and I've got a visual documentation of it. No, you can't see this, but Tim got on a divvy bike and rode over to River City one night to document what kind of stone was on the base of River City to help me answer one of my Ask Jeffrey questions. It's totally amazing. Tim knows Chicago like no one else. He can tell all of its secrets and its achievements, and his passion for historic places has inspired thousands of others to care about preservation. So I'd like to introduce Landmarks Illinois Board Chairman and my dear friend Alicia Berg, who is here to read a statement about Tim on behalf of the City of Chicago. Alicia Berg.
Hello, everyone. I'm so honored to be the chairman of Landmarks Illinois, especially tonight. And I'm also honored to read a letter from Mayor Rahm Emanuel to Tim. Dear Tim, as mayor and on behalf of the City of Chicago, I am pleased to extend heartfelt congratulations to you on being named a legendary landmark. Initially formed to prevent the demolition of the Chicago Stock Exchange building, designed by famed architects Dankmar Adler and Louis Sullivan, the Landmarks Preservation Council of Illinois, which is what we used to be called, was founded in 1971. Now home to over 2,500 members, the visionary organization advocates for historic and culturally significant buildings and area lands while increasing the public's understanding of and interaction with the built environment. Landmarks Illinois has impacted life and culture in Chicago and beyond for nearly 45 years and continues to inform and inspire residents from all walks of life. No one could have imagined when you were growing up in Rogers Park that you would become a celebrated cultural icon and an integral part of the modern fabric of Chicago. Just as Landmarks Illinois has worked to reach and teach Chicagoans, so have you. Your passion for history and architecture and cultural and preservation continues to bring Chicago to life for so many of us. Your distinguished service and multifaceted work with the Department of Cultural Affairs and special events stand as proof positive of your unwavering commitment to the greater community. You are a guidepost for every resident and visitor. You are the epitome of a Renaissance man. You are the definition of a true Chicagoan and indeed a legendary landmark. Again, thank you for your long-standing commitment to Chicagoland's community and culture. I offer warm congratulations to you on this extraordinary commendation. Best wishes for much continued success. Sincerely, Rahm Emanuel, Mayor. So here's a short video about Chicago's cultural historian and my dear friend, Tim Samuelson. When the video concludes, please welcome to the stage John Vinci, principal at Vinci Hamp Architects and a 2011 legendary landmark himself, to present the award to Tim. Thank you. He truly is a legendary landmark, I think. There's nobody else like him in the city.
He has the power of time travel. He can take you somewhere just in a few words and put you there.
He has a mind which can hold phenomenal facts.
He spent his whole professional career saving places that matter to people, and that is the mission of Landmarks Illinois. Visitors from all over connect with Tim, and he helps convey what Chicago is to people.
It's not architecture as I see it as an architect. It's architecture as a human factor.
You know, buildings can't tell their own stories. Tim tells the stories for them. It's like he's infectious in the way that he talks about things.
Tim is the kind of individual that creates that connection between our past, our present, and our future.
He can tell you what the sounds would have been back then, and what time the train would have gone by, and possibly what it would have smelled like because of where it was situated in the city. In a way, it's sort of a collective memory of an entire people, and he sees it that way, and he's able to reconstruct it that way, and most importantly, he feels it that way.
Many people can be teachers in life, but very few people can be the ones who are in the trenches. Tim has been in the trenches. This is his passion in life. This is his calling in life.
He's the cultural historian of Chicago, and there's nobody like him, and there probably never will be.
What a pleasure to be given this position. Now I hope I can read what I wrote. Yeah, I got the wrong page. Oh, you're. Anyway, this took some writing. It kept growing and growing. You might be here for hours. Anyway, when Helen, a Polish-American sales girl, and Hubert Samuelson, a tall Swedish-American Montgomery Ward catalog overseer, married, they raised 2 sons in Rogers Park area of Chicago. They never imagined that they would both grow up to such distinguished scholars in their chosen field. Tim's older brother is the most renowned authority of country music. He is nationally known for his extraordinary research in the field and for his collections of rare recordings. Tim, on the other hand, has become the foremost resource of information on all Chicago and beyond. When Tim was around 9 years old, he passed Lovell's bookstore in the Rogers Park area on his way to school. There he stopped in and eventually began to work for Miss Lovell. She sometimes paid him with books. There he met Vincent Starrett, a daily news writer and a member of the Chicago Renaissance, a group of writers such as Ben Hecht, who concentrated on and created their own style of writing. At the age of 9, Tim was so concerned about architecture that he convinced his mother to take him to see the Garrick Theater by Adler and Sullivan, and then being condemned to the wrecking ball. And he also visited Mies van der Rohe around the age of 13 to express his concern for the old Chicago post office, which soon was to be demolished at the Federal Center. Mies simply shrugged his shoulder and said, "Yeah, it's a noble building." Another turning point was his introduction to Richard Nickel. Tim often visited the Ryerson Library at a young age. The librarian, Ruth Schoenemann, informed Richard Nickel of this precocious young man who was gifted in his knowledge of architecture. Nickel contacted Tim and invited him to go with him on one of his explorations of a Sullivan building, soon to be demolished, and their friendship lasted until Nickel's death in 1971. So this is a period of this. We're thinking this about 1966 to 71, that they were very close. I met Tim soon after when he was introduced to me by Richard, of course. He was about 17, just ready to graduate from high school. He chose Roosevelt University simply because it was located in the auditorium building by Adler and Sullivan.
Why not?
Thanks. There he could watch over it as in its ever-changing remodelings and to know if they were violating any of the building's integrity.
They were too.
After graduation, and with Nickel now gone, I hired Tim to work on the ongoing book, which Mr. Nickel had started, The Complete Architecture of Adler and Sullivan. Tim worked diligently until we ran out of grant money. He began to assist my office with projects, doing research, physical labor, bookkeeping, typing, answering the phone, and any project that he could participate in. I mean, we did reports on the auditorium building and the parks, and there was Tim helping us and he was there for about 10 years. And it's just, we worked on the, in 19, so we're now up to 1982. I think everybody here has had a little more to drink than I have. In 1982, Tim was hired by the Commission of Historic and Architectural Landmarks for the City of Chicago. There he continued to advise the commission and write reports. Among the most notable report was his research and recommendation on Chicago's black metropolis and championed the area to become one of Chicago's landmark districts. During this period, Tim was approached by many scholars who used Tim's knowledge and advice for their publications. For the most part, Tim was credited by them. I remember one incident when I received a call from Brendan Gill, the New Yorker writer, who was writing a biography on Frank Lloyd Wright. I said, "You don't want to talk to me, you want to talk to Tim." He contacted Tim, and with Gill's assistant, Tim advised Gill's ideas, and Wright changed his ideas to a more positive idea, and the result was an extraordinary seminal book on Wright. Gill, in turn, was a sponsor for Tim, who received a Loeb Fellow at Harvard University at the recommendation of Brendan Gill. After 15 years of work at the commission, he was hired by the Chicago History Museum, where he befriended Stutz Terkel, and there he had access to the Chicago history's vast resources of architectural material, including journals and photographs. And from his vast knowledge and known by every scholar in Chicago history, he was approached in 1902 This was not meant to be funny. He was approached in 2002 by Lois Weisberg. I hope Lois is here tonight. To a new position she created, which they deemed to call the cultural historian of Chicago. There he met Barbara Conan, and when they were soon married, another major event in Tim's life. This is hysterical. Oh, what are you trying to do? I'm almost done.
Okay. Just checking.
Oh.
Just checking.
Go away. Tim produced numerous outstanding exhibitions and lectures. In 2004, Christopher Ware and Ira Glass produced the Chicago Buildings, a DVD on Tim's life that was inaugurated for public radio, This American Life, and distributed by WBEZ. His exhibitions at the Cultural Center included the Popeil products exhibition, which Tim did demonstrations and collections, Modernism Messengers, the work of Margaret and Alfonso Iannelli, Louis Sullivan's idea in 2011. Hey, listen, I have 3 minutes. Give me my 3. You're taking up half of them by annoyances. Early Wright, John McCutcheon, Martin and Rose Newman, A Love Story, the Mayonnaise School of Painting, the Mecca Flats, where he made extraordinary insights, and his newest exhibition opening April 24th, Love for Sale, The Art of Elmore Products, opening on April 24th. And I mean, these exhibitions are insightful. They say more than just architecture. They're about the human condition, and they take on people who are not always recognized. And you know, it's a unique and rich legacy that Tim is leaving us. Thank you. Tim. supposed to give you an award. Oh. I am now supposed to present this award to Tim.
Hold on, John.
What more can I say? Thank you, folks. Well, I guess first, 2 words. To Landmarks, Illinois, and to John Vinci for that wonderful intro, thank you very much. Now, in all honesty, there's 2 other words. Why me? I mean, it's kind of very nice to be honored in this way, but I can't think of anything I did to deserve it. I just did what comes naturally. So, it started out when I was a little kid, and I just loved buildings. And so you'd go visit, and you always figured there was kind of a vibe to them. And you go out, and they'd be in trouble. And, you know, when something's in trouble, what do? You just step up to the plate, and you do what you have to do for them. That's what I did. So it kind of goes through the years. And if I did anything at all, it's not anything that I was doing. I had good helpers. You saw John up here. He was one of my mentors. Richard Nickel, Vincent Starrett, Mrs. Lovell, who ran the bookstore. I can even think back to my father and giving me his advice when he took me aside and said, "This history stuff is well and good, son, but what are you going to do for a real job?" I remember that all the time to this day. But anyway, it was these amazing people that I encountered that taught me and spurred me on, who gave me support when I needed it. So it wasn't my doing. It's something you do all by yourself. It's the people you meet and the people you encounter in life. And I could stand here all night and name them and thank them all for being a part of me, but they're all standing up here with me right now. And if there is a secret, and I thank you for them. If there's any secret that I can give to say what I've done, if I did anything at all, it's the fact that I started all doing this when I was like 7 years old. And I'll let you in on a secret. I've never grown up. And you know what? I never hope I do, and I recommend it highly. Thank you very much.
Chris Borelli, who's writing an article about Tim for the Tribune, told me before we went on that Tim actually was going to one high school, Chicago Public High School, and he didn't like it because he didn't like the building. And he petitioned the school board to transfer to a different school because he didn't like the building. Schurz High School, right? It was the one he petitioned to transfer. Read Chris's article. Tim is a true legendary landmark, so deserving of this honor. And once again, congratulations to Tim. Our final legendary landmark is more than a successful and astute businessman, a generous philanthropist, and, oh yeah, owner of the 5-time Stanley Cup winning Chicago Blackhawks. He also manages a vast portfolio of real estate through Wirtz Realty, which is actually the oldest of the Wirtz family companies, which has operated for nearly a century. So join me in watching this brief video about the impact of legendary landmark Rocky Wirtz, and then when it is over, Bruce Wirtz MacArthur will present the award.
It started with 80 buildings on the lakefront and grew as boxing, circuses, hockey, and ice shows transformed America's great arenas into major entertainment centers. Today, Wirtz Corporation spans wholesale distribution, banking and insurance, sports, entertainment, creative production, nurseries, residential and commercial real estate, and development.
I just think the Wirtz family has that big shoulders, sense of confidence, sense of direction. You know, they're just a real symbol of Chicago's vitality.
They own some iconic property in downtown Chicago. A lot of landlords simply allow those properties to be profit centers. Rocky takes it a step above. He treats these properties with the respect they deserve.
Along the lakefront, Wirtz properties evoke the elegance of a golden era in Chicago's history.
It is our gateway, and these buildings are majestic. You know, they're well maintained, they're reinvested in. If you're in a Wirtz building, you know it's well taken care of and it's well managed.
The new jewel in the crown is 333 North Michigan Avenue, one of the largest landmark preservation projects in downtown Chicago.
I just love the fact that it stands right on the site of Fort Dearborn. And I think you want to honor a site like that with a really significant building.
It's the corner where Chicago's economy began, and today, a link between luxury shopping to the north and Chicago's business district to the south.
I think this is an Art Deco treasure.
A designated Chicago landmark, 333 is listed on the National Register of Historic Places as part of the Michigan Wacker Historic District.
No one had to force Rocky to save that building and repurpose it. He didn't have to do all of the great restoration work that he did, but he knows that that's a symbol of his family name. He takes that very seriously.
When completed, Wirtz Realty will have reinvested nearly $46 million to restore and sustain this treasure for Chicago's next generations.
You know, I look at that project as beyond the landmark status. It's actually going to be an anchor for 3 blocks of Michigan Avenue that have historically failed to meet expectations. And I think this new investment is going to be a real catalyst. But I think we have Rocky's vision for this building to thank for what's going to be, I think, a tremendous transformation in just the next couple years.
Wow. John and Tim, you are a hard act to follow. Bonnie, to you and your team, what an evening. What an incredible evening. So here I am with the greatest challenge in my life. And the name is Bruce Wirtz MacArthur, as Jeff said. And by the way, Jeff, wherever you are, I saw you hesitate. I just want to tell you before I start this speech, I have bought from WTTW every one of your tapes. I love you and thank you for what you do. So, our next, ooh, the lighting in the eyes. Well, John, I see what you meant. Our next honoree is a very special person to me, and I really mean this. I'm honored to call him by many names. As the 3rd generation leader of our family business, the Wirtz Corporation, I call him boss. I live at 3000 North Sheridan Road in Alderman Tunney's ward. A recently restored vintage Art Deco building. There I call him landlord. Actually, our great-grandfather, Charles Wadsworth, used to live there some 60 years ago. And that was our grandfather, Arthur Wirtz's father-in-law. And you better believe in those days that building was well kept. However, I'm most privileged to be able to call him Cousin Rocky, or just Cuz. And you know, about a year after he took over our family business, I looked at him and I said, damn, Cuz, if I'd known it had been this great, I'd have taken better care of myself. Rocky was actually named after the great prize fighter, Rocky Marciano. However, his name fits him to the T. He's as solid as a rock. He leads by example, he's decisive, has a strong moral and fair compass, and oh yes, another ingredient, he truly has compassion for his fellow mankind. In the last 7 years, he's brought us 2 Stanley Cups. Excuse me for one moment of silence. Whatever religion, thank you. Oh, yes, yes. Two, and God, please be a fan. He's expanded and rebranded our international wholesale liquor division and put it under one banner, Wirtz Beverage Group. Tonight we honor him, a Chicago legendary landmark, for returning to the very roots that our late grandfather Arthur M. Wirtz started his career in, real estate. We applaud his compassion to the preservation and restoring of our Art Deco buildings, from 333 North Michigan Avenue, which, if I might add, is the reason I'm here tonight, because my father's father and my mother's father met over that piece of real estate when it was in bankruptcy. To Lakeshore Drive. Yes, in the Wirtz family, the pride is back. And for that, I thank you, Rocky. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you my cousin, Rocky Wirtz. Oh, God.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Bruce. As you know, Chicago has been our home to our family for generations. A few of my family members are here today, my cousin Bruce, and what he didn't tell you is that yes, I'm his landlord, but he also has the highest security deposit of anyone in that building. Now, if you want to meet out in the lobby, I'll give you the full story. I'd also like to thank my lovely wife, Marilyn, for being here tonight, too. At Wirtz Realty, she gives me $1 for every time I say that. But at Wirtz Realty and Wirtz Corporation, we believe in reinvesting and leaving the business better than when we found it. Investing at 333, United Center, or any of our apartments on Lakeshore Drive are ways to ensure that properties and these landmarks remain part of the fabric of Chicago. Your nomination this evening is incredibly gracious and very humbling. We appreciate the work being done on behalf of the city to preserve this great history. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Did y'all notice the Stanley Cup ring on that? I don't know how he holds up his arm with that thing on there. We have got one very quick final order of business before we say goodnight. We want to commemorate the life of a legendary landmark who recently passed away, Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. Banks was named a legendary landmark in 2010. He played for the Cubs for 19 years, was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1977, was the first National League player to be named the MVP in 2 consecutive seasons, and was the Chicago Cubs' first African-American player. He was also kind of my hero in 1969. Mr. Cub famously said, there's sunshine, there's fresh air, the team's behind us, let's play two. So in honor of Ernie Banks, we are going to start this entire ceremony over and play two. What do you say? John Vinci will come, no. Ernie Banks passed away on January 23rd of this year. Let's give Mr. Cub a hand. So we're very honored to have so many of our past legendary landmarks here tonight. For the big finish, we'd like to invite all of you to come back up to the stage right now, along with our new legendary landmarks. Come on up here. All of our legendary landmarks, please join me. We've got Richard Gray, we've got Victor Skrybneski, Jane Nichols Solins, Erica Mann Ramus, wife of the legendary landmark Harold Ramus, Michael Kutza, John Vinci, Perry Height representing Target, Leslie Heinman, John Terlato of Terlato Wines, the inimitable Joe Antunovich, and our newest legendary landmarks, Allan Bulley Jr. of Bulley and Andrews, Tim Samuelson and Rocky Wirtz. Come on up here. Everybody stand up and let's give our legendary landmarks a big round of applause for a big finish and a big photo opportunity. While the photos are being taken, Landmarks Illinois wants to thank you for your support and for joining us in celebrating legendary landmarks. Join us again next year at an even bigger and better venue to honor our historic, civic, and cultural landmarks and to highlight the incredible work of this evening that is made possible. Good night, everyone. Until next year. Thank you.